go live.
Nice.
All right, Anna, I think it worked.
I like the intro. It's nice.
It caught me by surprise a little bit. This is our first time we're going to Instagram too. So I have to do that like separately. So we're trying it on 4 platforms. We're just like going to take over the world.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're going to try and get 1 viewer per platform.
There you go. Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, this is cool. This is episode 000004. Anna Zurek is joining us. She is our LivCo's lead interior designer, which, just to give you kind of a brief explanation of that, from my point of view, so our architectural team works and kind of develops the concept designs and has a lot of ideas about how the spaces come together and what things feel like. And then once it gets to Anna, the final stuff that you see is her artistry, her genius, and really pulling all the finishes together, making sure it all fits, all that stuff. So it's really fun to look at the projects after they're done and see Anna's touches on them for sure. So thanks for being here, Anna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate that intro as well. It's a lot of the clients too. You know, clients have some good vision as well. They bring it in.
Well, I'd say that's a big part of it, right? Like, it's a huge collaboration.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, we ask for what they're interested in, and then we ask them how their day-to-day is. So we do want to make sure that it just flows with their everyday lifestyle. We're not working with clients that are, you know, in their home just for a couple of months and then have homes that are everywhere else. They're living in it every single day and need to feel, you know, comfortable.
Well, and, you know, kind of related to that, it is one of the harder things that we do, right? From a perspective of we have a structure, we have an order, we have a process of how we get from concept to knowing exactly what it is and what we're going to build, right? But every client is different in their decision-making comfort level, right? Or, you know, how many options they have to choose from, right? Because our projects are 100% custom.
Absolutely. I mean, choices are endless. It's just also how much you want to spend too. And then some clients are, they know what they want. And then some clients are just like, hey, help me out because I have absolutely no idea. These are things that I'm interested in, but still don't know where to start. So, yeah.
And I guess, did we try and determine that early? I would assume so.
Right? I think so. I mean, Sarah already asked for like inspiration and stuff like that to get started in. And sometimes she already knows like if a client is, you know, gearing one way towards the other. Because that's how you guys want to set up the conceptual design as well. And then other times, you know, clients are just like, I think I'm leaning one way. I think I'm more traditional, but I'm not entirely sure. But this is what I have, and this is what I'm interested in, or these are things that I absolutely don't like. I actually love when clients say, these are things that I absolutely don't like, because then we can stay clear of that.
Yeah, I think constraints, and this is, you know, coming from a design architect point of view and what we do in remodels and additions. And we also do some custom homes, but what we enjoy in some ways about additions and remodels is the constraints are there, right? From design and planning, like this. I don't want to use a stair, for example, because we end up moving the stair a lot, but for the most part, there's rules where we have to work inside the box. But when it gets to you, there's really very few constraints, which is what you're saying. You appreciate, like, give me some guardrails here so we know what directions to not go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we go through so many rabbit holes too, where we're like, we think we're going one way, and then it's like, wait a second, but I actually like this after seeing something installed or actually seeing stuff in person. So that's what helps with my job, is that we're kind of all over the place. We get to see things in person, and then we get to see things, you know, just looking at samples physically. So
yeah, I would say, and, you know, I've done a couple projects for my family, as you're familiar with. One of the hardest things for me is tile, because you look at a tile and especially in all the textures that we deal with right now. So how are you able to help clients understand what the composition of multiples of said tile look like and things of that nature.
Well, we talk about like layout and colors and stuff like that. And when we go to start to select things, we actually are trying to pull in just things that we're, what we're leaning towards first. And then we go from there and put it in the 3D. That helps. It's never 100% exact. And that's what we also try to share and let people know. We get close. And then we just make sure we're looking at inspiration images just to see how, tile can be installed in 10 different ways. People don't think so because it's just usually brick lay or, stacked, but there's actually much, much more details that go into it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, all the different and I think nowadays too, is a lot of the tile selection is not just a single tile. It's part of a composition of like 4 or 5 different ones that can be arranged, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And different colors too that you can add into it. There's a lot of customization in tile now too. I'm going to pull in cabinetry because cabinetry is the same way. That's where we actually sometimes get hung up on is clients see this small sample of wood and you actually want to see the full door because you can see how the layers change and how the graining is different, how the style and rails can change too in color. So.
Yeah. What happened to just white subway tile? Life was
no.
easier, right? But it's also boring.
No, we don't want to do that. Maybe for a small space, but then we have to do something cool somewhere else.
Yeah. And, I think the nature of our projects are pretty intense transformations, right? So the clients are going to go through, homeowners are changing their houses and spending a lot of money, spending a lot of time and energy. So, make it count, right? If you're going to put tile up, make a tile that counts.
Right. You want something that's going to last too, that you're not going to get sick of. And that's the hard part too, is many times clients will say, well, is this something that I'm going to get sick of in 5 years? And, yes, sometimes maybe you will. Then you can call us again, But no, most of the time we want something that's going to last through the years and through even just the way their home changes as their kids grow up and as they change too, or even if for resale value and whatnot.
Yeah. And then, in my head, I'm just thinking about kitchen backsplash tile. When you get into bathroom tile, it's kind of a whole new level, right? Because we have wall tile, we have shower edges, we have niches. How are we going to trim the niches? Bullnose tile really isn't a thing anymore, right? So we're using Schluter.
Well, we actually just had this conversation yesterday. Yes, Schluter usually because it's just cleaner. It's also less expensive than doing bullnose tile.
That's the metal edging, right?
Correct. Yeah. And they come in different styles, but we usually do the Jolly Schluter, which is straight. It just looks cleaner. You don't want that to be the focal point of your bathroom. You want it to kind of look well with your plumbing fixtures and stuff like that, but you don't want that to be the focal point. You want the tile to be, or the design of the tile, or your cabinetry.
Yeah, and then there's other patterns like herringbone, right? When things are turned 45 degrees, which has its own challenges because as you lay it out, just like we don't have a whole lot of 3x6 subway tile, we don't have a whole lot of 12x12 tile grids anymore.
Right. So they're coming back a little bit,
It's helpful,
right?
From a production standpoint, right? Because your layouts can just be a little bit cleaner at times.
Yeah.
I guess ideally, like your ideal layout tile would be like a 1x1 mosaic, right? Or like a small mosaic. Because
shower floor.
Yeah, shower floor, right? Because you can shape it and let it drain, and you're not going to worry about having little half tiles. If you have a 12x12 and you have a little sliver. Exactly. And then when we have herringbone, right, we have all that waste.
Yep, that's herringbone and chevron. Actually, both of them are kind of complicated within that. True, you also don't know if you're going through a small hallway, you might end up having just one arrow or two, and it's cut off weirdly. So you have to pay attention to all those details, and how big the tile is a really important thing.
So then, my architect, whatever brain starts thinking, well, wouldn't the easiest thing be just to have the biggest tile possible? Is that the easiest thing?
Oh, well, then grout lines come into play too. It's like, where are these grout lines? You're gonna have one grout line in the middle here. You just got to make it look purposeful.
Yeah, and what's probably in that? So that would be called large format tile.
Large format, yeah. That's usually anything for over 24 by 24. So 24 by 48, 48 by 48. Yeah.
What's the largest tile we've ever installed?
We purchased a porcelain slab, and we installed it on the floor, but we ended up having to cut it in half. So it was more like 48 by 48.
That's a heavy piece of porcelain, I imagine.
It was. It cracked.
I'm guessing this is our Elmhurst second story edition.
Yes. Yep. Unfortunately, it was awesome. Yeah. We ended up, we got another one. They did it just fine. It's just, that happens, with large format tiles, unfortunately.
Was that on the first floor or the second floor? Okay.
Powder room. Yep.
That's another thing. You got a 4x4 sheet. Like, how do you get it? And I mean, I guess for the most part, you can get it through, but how many people have to carry that thing upstairs? Exactly. Yeah. So a lot goes into that, from logistics to design to, there's just a million details. And then how do you pick a grout color?
Right. There was a time when a lot of, it was really in to be super, have a lot of contrast between the tile and the grout. And now it's more, you just want to blend, because you just want it to, you don't want that to stick out. I mean, if I'd say in subway tile, I've seen a lot of it where you have contrasting grout, but usually you just want it to blend. And honestly, setting up the tile in a really well lit area and just having talking the client through it, and we're like, hey, this one has a little bit more blues in it, this one has more greens in it, this is more gray, this is too dark, and I would never go with white grout. Just never do it. It's just too light. Always like an off-white.
Yeah, and I could see, with tile just having so much texture to it, and in itself, bringing interest, I could see, a lot of grout lines with a lot of contrast really almost being too much, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it was in for a while, but
yeah,
it makes it too busy.
So I'm going to shift gears here a little bit, because talking about all this just for the first 10 minutes has me already overwhelmed with what interior design has to deal with. So how do you manage the client so that they don't feel overwhelmed with this?
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. I really feel for clients who we give deadlines to as well, but I think just meeting with them, being able to show them piece by piece, allowing them to have time to actually make decisions and not say, hey, you need to have this decision tomorrow, but also piecing everything together is how clients make faster decisions, because they're actually seeing the entire space come to life, rather than like, here's this one tile that we're only going to make a decision on. No, it's not really how it works. We have to take the cabinetry in here. We have to take the plumbing fixtures in here. Sometimes we're even already grabbing paint, any wood finishes, like accent pieces. I was at a client's last week who brought in fabric swatches for their sofa and their drapery, because they're like, I just want to make sure everything coordinates really well. So just, it is tough. It's very overwhelming, but it's one of those things. We just take it piece by piece. And, if we need to take a break, we need to take a break,
Yeah, I could see it if you just kind of organize it. You don't say, what do you want for this tile, this tile, this tile, this tile? What grout colors do you want? Like, let's compartmentalize it and look at it piece by piece, right? And then shelve that, and then we can look at it as a whole, right? It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it, and in some ways, a little bit of therapy, right? There's a little bit of therapist in the interior designer for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got to make sure the client feels comfortable. We also have like checklists and stuff like that we're referencing and making sure that, hey, we're crossing all these things off. And we work with the portal builder trend, right? That we're making sure, hey, that portal already has our questions aligned in there. What type of grout, what kind of threshold finish, and it already kind of sets us up to make sure we're not forgetting something.
Yeah. No, it's And if you go way back to episode 00000001, where I had Sarah on, who's our director of design, and she was our first design hire. She's
Yep.
also an architect. Sarah and I learned together when Anna came on board. When it comes to interior design, we do not know what we do not know. It is its own thing, and it's massively important and a crazy amount of work.
Yeah. And yeah, it's also fun. It's
Yeah.
fun stuff. And, you know, you learn stuff about the clients and you have this, you know, relationship too that you're, you know, making with them. And at the end of the day, stuff looks awesome. So yes, there's a lot of stress involved for both the client and even us trying to gather the things, but it ends up working out really well.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know at some point I'd really like to do, and you know, we do these once a week, but honestly, we can do these as frequently as we want, as long as our calendar allows. I'd love to do like just some conversations with you just on specific aspects. Like we can talk about cabinets sometime. We can just talk about countertops.
Oh my gosh, cabinets, we need like an hour.
Yeah, we can spend a lot of time, but we could create topics on certain aspects of it because there's just so many moving pieces, and it's really an incredible knowledge base that you have to have going into it, right? All the things to think about. And on that front, like when you go into when a client starts detailed design, which is their second design phase, where start meeting with you and you guys do a selections meeting, what's kind of which the first thing you want to talk to them about to get picked out? What are we first trying to select? Where is it?
Honestly, it's appliances. That's actually where we start, because I can't design your kitchen cabinetry without appliances. And sometimes that takes a while. Like, you know, determining, even sometimes clients go back and forth between wanting a double oven or a speed oven with an oven and a range top with a chimney hood. You know, everything kind of just goes back and forth. Do I want this fridge to be inset because I absolutely love the way the built-in look? I don't want my door sticking out that, you know, 3-4 inches, and little things like that start to get determined. If we don't know those things, unfortunately, I can't design the cabinetry well, at least. Like you can start piecing things together, but then, you know, those are some big pieces.
Yeah, that's another one. There's a lot of nuances in appliances these days. There's so many different options, right? You can do drawer refrigeration in an island. There's a million things that you can do there. But I could see that making sense too, because it's a little bit more shopping. Like it's a really clear thing for the clients to say, I love this fridge.
Yep.
Right? I mean, both projects that Meg and I have done, my wife and I have done, we picked the appliances that we wanted that looked cool, right?
Yeah. And we're functional, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They need to be functional, but yeah, you can kind of design stuff around that, and especially with ranges these days, right? With the Cornu, I can't even remember.
Le Cornu, yeah.
There's some really cool stuff where people can have that to be a focal point, and then we can start to design around them and things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are more like accent pieces, you know, and they're actually really well made appliances. I'm not going to lie, but which is an awesome thing. Is just, you know, that's the other thing that comes into play with these selections meetings is budget. You know, trying to make sure. Yeah. We don't really like to talk about budget, but also we have to pay attention to budget.
Well, it's such a huge part of the program of any project, right? Even the rich people in the world have a budget or want to understand. Everybody just wants to understand what the financial impact is of different decisions, right?
Absolutely.
And it's a really hard part of what we do, because we do that preliminary budgeting. It's based on some relatively general historic costs from projects, but we don't totally know what everything is yet. And so we're trying to deliver levels of pricing updates as we can. But there's so many moving pieces. But it's the goal, right? If we could essentially, if you could see your dollars move up and down on a daily basis by what you choose, that would be ideal. But there's too many variables in it, right?
I mean, I think those budget updates help, because that does give them, you know, hey, we had these meetings and you decided on these things. We were able to get, you know, these numbers figured out. And then even go back to the drawing board on some stuff like, hey, we see you're trailing really high on tile. This is what you can, this is how you can decrease. And then it's usually like, I don't feel like it because I love everything we chose.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can have that. And then if you really need to find the dollars, let's look somewhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe we can reduce the spec level of the mudroom cabinetry.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
In like glass doors and cabinetry, that's something that's always fascinating because it really increases the cost, right?
Well, people don't realize you have to finish the interior of your cabinets. You don't have to. You should finish the interior of it, and then your shelves are finished as well. And sometimes clients even want to do, like if you're doing a white maple cabinet and you have some sort of wood accent somewhere, you want to actually veneer finish the interior with a wood accent, to liven it up a little bit. Yeah, it increases the cost pretty substantial, but it looks awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just all these, and we did it in our scullery, right? Like we had to have it. Like the whole point is to have that with grandmother's china, so that you can actually see it and it's not just stuffed away in a cabinet. So you can prioritize those things. But yeah, I mean, there's just fascinating maneuvers that change costs up and down, right, as we go, and we're just trying to keep homeowners, clients updated the best we can, right?
Yep. I mean, all the inserts and stuff like that, all of them just increase the cost substantially too. I mean, you don't realize it, but those any pullouts for pot and pans and stuff like that, that'll increase, and we try to give them a breakdown too, and say, hey, the reason your cabinetry went up, $10,000 is because of these 5 items.
But totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it, because a lot of clients too are saying, hey, they don't want anything on their countertops. So if you don't want anything on your countertops, make your cabinetry more functional.
Yeah, and one thing that we love that sounds silly is we did the single big. We have a 2-drawer bank, so we have 2 big drawers with all the pots and pans, and then a separate tray at the top. So you open the drawer, and then there's a tray at the top that you pull out. That's where you put all your pot tops.
Yes, yeah.
So then you can stack your pots, and those things are out of the way, right? You're not always moving the stuff around. It's the little things that are really fun to dive into the function of it, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
On that note, and I know you don't like to pick favorites. Do you prefer, like, what to you is more fun from a design standpoint, a kitchen or a bathroom?
Probably a kitchen, because I do like the cabinetry aspect. I mean, it's like playing Tetris, but probably a little bit more difficult. Not as, bright colors, but it's a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of questions involved, and it's a challenge, and I think that's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bathrooms I like, making pretty, but sometimes, we're just doing a quick sort of, if we've got a primary bathroom that's a little bit more involved, that has like a lot of accent tile and really a lot of accent niches, I think those are fun as well. But I feel like the kitchen has my heart for sure.
That makes sense. And in some ways, it's kind of a silly question, right? Like, what do you like better, a kitchen or a room with a toilet in it?
Yeah.
But when we talk about some of the primary baths that we do, they're pretty
awesome.
Pretty cool, pretty intense. Very cool, like screen walls and tubs and floating vanities. I
mean, we've nailed down the shower tub room situation. I think those look awesome.
Yeah. How about more favorites? What do you think is the most fun project you've ever worked on at LivCo? I don't want to say favorite, just like the most fun.
Oh, that's hard too, though. I think
one of them.
Which one was it? It was the one where we opened up the kitchen completely. We had a basement project prior to that with the client.
Oh, in Indian Head Park?
Yes, in Indian Head Park. That, I think, it was a little challenging with like spacing around some of the cabinetry. The client was a lot of fun. That's hard, because we also have a client right now too in Elmhurst that has like fun finishes everywhere. She's really great about like adding textures and stuff like that too. She's been a lot of fun with just, you know, understanding the different textures and whatnot in actual hard finishes too, which sometimes clients are like, no, they don't want too much going on. But, you know, the countertop that we chose for that, and I'm excited for everybody to see it too. We did a quartzite and it looks awesome. Like it's just so purposeful. And we ended up doing waterfall edges there specifically because of how pretty it is.
And just to clarify there, so quartzite is a natural stone, correct?
It is. Yep. Yeah.
So you're going to pick that very unique piece that is only exists once.
Yes. And we picked it and we actually taped out exactly what's being cut too.
Yeah. And because there's a lot of talk of quartz, and quartz is manufactured.
Yep.
Which is probably 90% of the projects. Maybe it's a little less now because we do see more natural stone, right?
It is, yeah. I'd say a little bit less. We're doing more granites and stuff too.
Yeah.
But the darker granites are pretty heavily attracted right now.
Yeah. What do you kind of see? And that kind of goes into the next discussion points. Like, what do you kind of see in terms of design trends on your end? I'm still living in like, what year is it? 2025. My brain's still stuck in 2014 in terms of finishes. So like, what do you see?
Might be a little different. I mean, they were still beige probably around there. A lot of like warmer tones. People are loving graining and cabinetry. Natural stones, so quartzites and granites are at least somewhere. The Taj Mahal is kind of here to stay, and that's a quartzite as well. Yeah, seeing the graining in the cabinetry is people still like painted white cabinets, but mixing it in with some sort of wood accent somewhere. And then people are kind of away from the, you know, bright blue islands and, you know, just green islands. If you're incorporating it somewhere, it's going somewhere else. It's not just your island.
Yeah. How about lighting? What are we seeing going on with lighting?
I think people are definitely being more playful with lighting. I think it depends on the job type, like the overall, you know, scheme. But sometimes we have clients that are not doing any pendants over the island because they just want to keep it nice and clean. And when you are putting the lights on, it's just nice and bright in the space, especially where you're working and entertaining. But usually clients just want to add sconces, you know, now just like over their sink or over flanking their range or something, which I think is a lot of fun. I think that just, again, adds more texture. It just brightens up the space. It doesn't essentially like illuminate where your cooking is. It's just for visual aspects only.
Yeah, it's almost like the kitchens are so connected to our social spaces these days. So after dinner's done and the kitchen's clean, and you go and retreat to watch a movie, or in the mornings, you just have these kind of soft accent lights, right? Like really making that when the kitchen's down, just making it kind of this soft, special space, right? At least that's kind of my impression.
Yep, exactly. I would agree.
No, that's really cool. I mean, I'm just trying to think about other stuff that I'm curious about or seeing. Flooring, I mean, wood floors, you just can't go wrong. It's timeless, right?
No, but white oak is probably more, clients are more interested in white oak over red oak.
Trying to get
been around for a little, the red and the orange, the pink undertones,
So you either have to go really dark with it, or white oak, or like a water-based stain, right?
Water-based stain to make it look more matte, and then there are stains that have more of like a whitewash look to it that can kind of bring out that can kind of put away some of the redness in it, but won't completely. I personally like it. I think it's what makes it unique. But yeah, sometimes that's just not liked.
About painted ceilings and wallpapered ceilings.
Yes, absolutely. That was a fun project that we did, the wallpaper on the ceiling. Also the color drenching where clients are doing ceiling, wall, trim, all the same color. I actually really like that when you have other pieces in the space that are very loud. Just let everything else kind of fall away and then allow that to everything else in the project that we chose, like your tile, your cabinetry, your accent lighting, to really stand out.
Yeah, it's really similar to the notion of a non-contrasting grout color, right? So to have trim details, but are washed out in terms of this being the same color, is really kind of cool because you just get this soft profile of interest, right?
I mean, I like when people are doing it with bold colors too. Just really depends.
Yeah, over in Homeowner, the office has that, right? Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of excited about that whole thing too. And what's great is I love paint.
Yeah.
Because you can change it.
For sure.
You just have fun with it, right? If you hate it, like I'm kind of over this color in this room because it's too dark for me.
Yeah.
And I have this door behind me, and now that I look at it,
it's like holding you in. Yeah.
So I need to move over here or something. So I haven't done anything with it, but I can, right?
Yeah.
And is that? And we started talking about the first thing you guys select is appliances. What's the last thing? Is it paint or not necessarily?
Paint and lighting, honestly. Yeah.
Paint, lighting can be a hard one, right?
Sometimes.
What's that?
I said paint, lighting, and wallpaper usually. But yeah, lighting can be a hard one. We're here to assist, absolutely. And paint is one of those things that where usually clients they want to see it in the space and how their natural light affects, the different finishes in their space.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of nuances in lighting too.
Yeah.
Right, especially with sconces. Is it going up? Is it going down? The height of it?
Yeah.
So much stuff we have to deal with.
Yeah.
So we're at our 30 minutes. I really didn't dive into your life too much because there's just so much cool stuff to talk about in interior design. But before we started, we're kind of talking about Poland, and you're Polish. Born and raised in Chicago, I believe, right? Were you born in Poland?
No, I was born here.
You're born here.
Yep.
But your parents 100% Polish.
Yep.
And you are our link to all the Polish trades language.
Yep. Keeping them in line. Absolutely.
Which is really, really cool. So we appreciate bringing the Polish culture, and I'm not sure what's the next Polish holiday coming up.
Christmas.
Oh, there's Kazimierz Pulaski Day. When is that?
No, that's in October.
That's October. Yeah, there you go. Is that a Polish holiday?
Yes.
Chicago.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, shows how
we appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Shows what I know. I guess that's why I stick to talking about design and not geography and culture.
Same. Yeah.
But this has been really awesome. Anything else you wanted to add, or anything else you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover?
I guess you'll just have to have me on again.
We're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to close this down, and I'll do the same intro video as the outro. And thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you for having me. Thanks. Appreciate it.